We'll have to see that deployed in the mid-fight in order to justify the Cole Cassidy pick, especially against this Pharmacy. Self-destruct deployed in the backline. It does find Shadow, but Shadow also trades with a Riptire kill into Lori.
And that's a pretty good trade-off, because even if you have the trade-off, it would still benefit whoever controls the points, because you're preventing one player from reaching that point. But I don't think that's mattering very much, as Shadow finds 2 with the secondary fire right there with the bomb.
Yeah, that was an amazing concussion mine through the Ant Matrix, but you do have the wall from Thornwall making, I see what I did there, making sure that they stay on this objective until it's 99% to completion. This puts you in last team fight territory, but again, you are playing into some ultimates here that could shut down a push pretty easily. Thunder, again with the barrage, albeit didn't get a lot on that first use, but they know how to correct that. And you're going to have both tank ultimates coming up online for the Kent State Crusaders as well. We're relying on Thembo to find an early pick for Thornwall to get the Blizzard early in that fight, and then for our supports, Lee Sang-Yan, to really make something happen.
And only hope for Event Horizon to probably turn this around. Deadeye is activated, and right now, oh no! But get that, because Fish got 3 with that Graphitic Flux. One of my personal favorite ults, because you're able to knock away half the health when you're able to finish that ult. But man, what a great Graphitic Flux out of Fish.
Well, half the health and half the team. That Graphitic Flux found 3 final blows there, and it's the only ult that Kent State Crusaders ended up having to use to secure this objective. Here's the Bongo and the Amplification Matrix deployed by 2 opposing sides. The Riptire coming out from Shadow and finding Thembo. That means no Deadeye, no aerial support against Thunder, committing the barrage, but Lori finding 2 with the pin.
Ooh! Let's see if that would help out Event Horizon. It does relieve a little bit of pressure. Zyla does only get themselves with the sound barrier, but Zyla eventually get taken out of the fight, and nothing to that really mattered in the end. Kent State saying, you may have gotten 2 environmental kills, Lori, but we're taking the round.
That was really good. Poor Thembo saying, I was on it, Jeff. As they just barely managed to reconnect on Tracer. Ultimately, you do yield. Lighthouse there will be going on to Ilios Ruins. I'm sure that this map is going to play pretty similarly to our other maps that we've seen so far, although it looks like we're going to be seeing a double shield. No. They're going to be staying to the Brawl comp that has been working for them, Kent State. Meanwhile, the dive 6-man style composition is going to emerge from the side of Event Horizon.
And Event Horizon, Thembo gonna be opted for the Reaper. Little less mobility, though. The Shadow Step could prove a great flank tool to catch some of Kent State off guard here. So now we go with this first team fight, and as they're waiting for the control point to unlock, so it looks like Kent State's gonna opt to drop down. And now this fight will begin, but Shadow taken out right away, and that already at a 6v5 advantage at the way of the Event Horizon. And if I'm predicting this, I'm thinking Event Horizon's probably going to win this first team fight, and they're going to be taking this point.
6-man is such a free composition, especially here for this control point style map. It's so deathmatchy in style, but what you end up is a composition that forgoes the deathmatch and actually institutes principles that you would see demonstrated in the other map types, Assault and Hybrid and Escort. Those are the game modes that help to decide how this composition is run on this particular map mode, and it's being used really well here by Event Horizon, but Thornwall has collapsed, and that's not the pick you want to lose first.
And that is not at all, especially when you lose your healer right away. Eventually, that's going to create a domino effect, and Lori, unfortunately, taking out a fight after the Primal Rage is used. But Thembo does have that. And just going to go ahead and use it right now. Only gets 1 before getting taken out by Shadow, who does have the Deadeye on standby. Meanwhile, Sound Bearer coming from Bulldog gets 4, and then Thunder will get hacked.
If the self-destruct committed by Jiggles as well, the Deadeye coming up on the high ground, but the EMP is there. It only finds 3, but 3 is enough. Army Piggy is taken out of the fight, and Thunderdog can't ice block here. They took so much damage from Thornwall, looking to follow up on their own ultimate. You could have Jiggles sacrificing a little bit of armor HP there to Fish, who ends up getting hacked as well, stunned, and ultimately taken out of map. Without really too much trouble, and despite a man disadvantage, this 6-man composition from Event Horizon really helped turn things around that fight, and they've still got support ults to work with.
And support ults to work with indeed. You got the Coalescence to help keep the team healed, the Sound Barrier to provide any additional shields in case things start to get a little dicey. But 4 ults are on standby, and one of them being used is the Earth Shatter. And that takes out Lee, and Lori gets taken out of the fight. But Kent State already flipping the point, and they are not done yet. They're gonna win this team fight, and it looks like Event's gonna need to do a reset, but not all hopes lost. Event does have 90% progress made, so no need to rush in this situation.
You end up putting yourself past that last team fight territory there, which is normally that 85% mark or so. You're coming into this fight with an EMP as well. Thornwall, as long as you can connect that to not as many targets as possible, but to as correct targets as possible, then you put yourself in a pretty advantageous position to retake this. There's the amplification matrix coming out from Sheesh and the EMP to cancel it.
And that's a great job out of Thornwall to cancel that amplification matrix, which has been pretty good to provide damage boost, if not also provide good area denial, because you do not want to be in anyone's line of sight with that amp matrix. But meanwhile, Kent State has already lost 3 members in this team fight, and that Event Horizon taking the point back.
And say Crusaders possibly in a tough spot, have to commit the Blizzard into this choke, and as the beat drops there from Kazila, it means that the team is sustaining here. Event Horizon is going to be tough to break out of this position as the shield HP from the Sound Barrier dissipates. So do the hopes of Kent State Crusaders, looking to make this map their own. Ultimately, they will lose that fight and forfeit this first map. Event Horizon will take Ilios and the first point in this 1-4 series.
And like I mentioned before earlier, back in the second round, Event Horizon, they don't want to lose. Yeah, but first let's talk about this play of the game. The 3-man Graphitic Flux, which ended up, and they all fall down. That was what helped. Really helped Kent State take that round.
Yeah, really good stuff from Kent State Crusaders. I'm pretty eager to see how they continue to play, especially in the face of the adversity that Event Horizon represents. It's no secret that this Event Horizon squad is a competent squad, especially in this rookie division. #1 seed, decisive series that they've played here in the playoffs, leading up until this moment, the grand finals against Kent State Crusaders, who have won through upsets. And as we head into our next map, Dorado, we'll see the strategies change, but the players who are executing those strategies have to continue to really pop off. It's going to have to, it's still going to have to be Jiggles, for the Kent State Crusaders, looking with a closer monitor towards the shapes, making sure that they stay making sure that they're able to get those resources into this offense. on the side of Event Horizon, we're going to need to see the same level of proactivity that they've been demonstrating so far. On the side of Kent State Crusaders, what we'll need to see is also an increased level of proactivity, being super responsive to the dives that I anticipate will be coming out from Event Horizon.
So like you mentioned with high grounds, whoever can win those team fights basically in Dorado is who can get control of the high grounds first, because there's just a lot of spots in Dorado where you can go high ground. Like you said, all 3 points have a lot of them in this map.
Yeah. We'll have to see, because I kind of saw this coming. You have Event Horizon opting for this dive composition. It's going to be Thembo double concussion mining onto the high ground. They're already. Is that legal? Can you spam those grenades out before the game even begins?
I don't think it's doing any damage to the defense. Huh. That's the first time I've seen that happen, but then again, I never see it from the point of view that, like, it's just great to have a bird's eye view of everything from our broadcast booth. So now looks like Event Horizon is going to go the Pharmacy on the attack, which proves to be one of the best duos in Overwatch, especially when you're able to damage boost the Pharah. And Pharah's rocket launchers does a lot of damage, especially with that damage boost.
Yeah, but it's tough to navigate those rockets into this close hold that that Kent State Crusaders are opting for. Using the same kind of style of the rush composition. You do have 2 main healers, so I'm not sure where I see Moira fitting into this, but it's working for now. Kent State has secured their position here and also canceled the barrage. Thornwall ends up eliminated, perhaps over-ambitious, perhaps just eagerly shut down there by Kent State Crusaders, who managed to remain in this position and continue to bleed time off the bank. There goes Thembo out of the fight as well. This little room that they're holed up in is just it's infallible.
Oh man, even though Thornwall switched to Junkrat, that barrage would be something he would definitely want back, because that probably could have been quite useful, especially later on at any point of any payload map.
There's no way that we actually see Kent State Crusaders full hold this objective just by playing in this little room. That is pretty cheesy. You are going to see the Blizzard probably deployed mid-fight here. Thembo goes down yet again. A wall to block off the self-destruct that Jiggles was hoping to use to secure some really significant damage onto a barrier, secure an elimination or 2. There's the Blizzard deployed, but it might not be necessary because Shadow has found 1, 2, 3 picks with those concussion mines just in this fight alone.
Yeah, like I said before, Thunder would probably want that Blizzard back for later in the fight. So we're going to see if Thunder will end up regretting it. Meanwhile, Shadow does have another Riptire on standby. Thornwall's going to activate their own Riptire and get both supports taken out of the fight. I think this building crunch defense is eventually crumbled, and I think that Riptire taking out both those supports pretty much was bread and butter on that one.
Yeah, for Event Horizon, that was pretty much your win condition. You were playing for that tire and making sure that it got value. The secret to success there being the Immortality field deployed a little too early from Sheiks there. Several actually weak Immortality fields committed there, but the Amplification Matrix might get a little bit more value. It allows Army Piggy to surge forward despite losing a little bit of that barrier HP. Shadow also commits the Riptire, finding 2 with it and effectively shutting down this push for Event Horizon.
Yeah, that's a pretty good adjustment on defense for I should say Kent State University, as after being crunched up back on defense, they're able to be more wide open.
It's a tough position that you're in as well. If you are Event Horizon, you're trying to just get this point captured here, move the car through the plaza, and finish at least one objective on this map, but you've burned so much time off the bank. Kent State Crusaders really enabling themselves to succeed, and with 2 tank ultimates in the bank, this is going to be difficult to break through. Event Horizon has to really make something work, and with no ultimates to speak of besides the Nano Blade, but finding Shadow is the beginning of the end here for the defense.
And this could be the end of the defense, as Shadow has one of the best DPSs in Junkrat, but here comes self-destruct. It's 2 of them on there, including Lee. So that's going to be a big reduction in healing production right there. Jiggles is going to try to activate all of their own, but not going to get anything out of that one. And Styla's nearly close, but managing to survive. This could be anyone's game right now in overtime.
It's all looking like it's Kent State Crusaders, though, holding this point really, really well. The Riptire committed here by Thornwall isn't going to find anything quite yet. No, it finds 3. There's 3 out of the fight here for Kent State Crusaders, which means Event Horizon might be able to turn this into something serious here. Losing Lori isn't going to be enough to slow them down, though.
And I like the patience out of Thornwall. He decided to wait until the immortality field was gone, just decided to keep the Riptire driving, and then eventually when it was gone, that was the time to strike. And they're getting closer to the first checkpoint.
It's really fortunate here for Event Horizon, really making something work, and it's always off the back of Thornwall's tires as well. Thembo coming in clutch on the Doomfist pick, finding 2, and really helping to enable the successful first point capture.
And so first point capture indeed, like I said, it all started with that triple kill momentum changer for Thornwall, for Event Horizon. And now their offense is starting to click a little. Zyla does have the sound barrier on standby, but Sheeks does have the amp matrix, and watch out for the Earth Shatter.
You have a lot to watch out for if you're the attacking Event Horizon there. There is the Amp Matrix committed there by Sheiks, and Army Piggy still with the Earth Shatters looking for that opportunity to commit that ultimate. But look at this dance of death here on the high ground in the church there, and ultimately won't amount to anything quite yet. The Meteor Strike as well comes out from Thembo. They don't find anything with it. You're relying on the Riptire from Thornwall. Might be able to find enough to really crack open this defense, although it does look pretty vulnerable. Self-Destruct doesn't find anything. It was in the wrong position, and the tire is looking for that pick onto Bulldog. Can't quite find it, though. It doesn't matter. Point presence is being occupied here by Event Horizon, really staying strong on this attack. Lori there holding the barrier in front of a frozen Jiggles and making sure that you don't lose that Diva. You only sacrifice a little bit of that armor HP, but the Eat is not there. The freeze from Thunder freezes both of the tanks, and the sound barrier drops from Bulldog to make sure that they stay in the fight. Kent State Crusaders really making the most of this defense.
But unfortunately, Jiggles finds 2, and it looks like Event Horizon might be able to continue pushing this payload here. They have a team size advantage right now in this team fight. Only looks like Sheiks and Jiggles, not Sheiks and Fish are left in here.
Oh no, Thunderdog left the ice block and got immediately trapped as well. They erect the ice wall, but it's not enough to keep them in this fight. Army Piggy does charge on the objective, looking to make the hero plays, but it's only them and Bulldog remaining here, and that's not quite enough sustain to keep Army Piggy alive after sacrificing all of that armor HP there. Jiggles looking to disrupt anyone who looks to touch or occupy this high ground. For now, it's going after Bulldog and making sure that they aren't able to connect to the objective as self-destruct comes out from Fish onto the point, but the shield from Lori and the immortality field from Lee Sang-yeon is both there. The amplification matrix committed, unable to get any value through it, probably just in the interest of keeping Event Horizon alive, but Kent State Crusaders are staying true to the defense here. Shatter as well from Lori knocks down 1 or 2, but the sound barrier from Kazila is going to make sure that Event Horizon stays in this fight just a little bit longer. It's all so hectic as the Meteor Strike and a Self-Destruct are both committed, but it's Thembo securing the picks here on the side of the attack. Event Horizon possibly making it work here on the second a second objective. Thornwall committing the tire as well. Might be able to find something with it. It's working its way all around the back onto the high ground, and finally gets the D-mech onto Fish, who had just re-entered that mech. The touch here from Bulldog, however, is strong, and so too is the stall. The sound barrier dropping and being able to shield off 4 members, allowing Fish to get back into that mech, and they promptly lose it though, as well as Jiggles, so it's equalized here on both sides, but it very looks winnable on the side of Event Horizon. It's all just staggers and stalls here from the defense, and the Blizzard from Thunder might be the icing on the cake of that which should not have been committed, as the second point does meet completion.
And like I said, that's another Blizzard Thunder's definitely gonna want back, because she's probably gonna save that for a later use. If your team is nearly wiped out. That was more of a desperation blizzard there, but Thunder will switch on over to the Pharah for this final point of the map and do the Pharmacy for the side of Kent State.
Okay, it's really their last bet here, working against the lack of a hit scan here on the side of Event Horizon, but you've lost Shadow early in the fight. It's still able to be compensated for. It's going to start with the Shatter in the Amplification Matrix, but the tire from Tornwall ends up finding Sheiks, and Army Piggy does go down.
And looks like most of the ults have been expended, but Lee still has that Amplification Matrix on standby in case they need to provide some extra healing or even some extra damage, and it looks like Event Horizon's going to be this close to securing all 3 points, but Piggy was able to make it to the point, but gets taken out of the fight by the opposing Reinhardt of Lori, and it looks like Event Horizon is going to be taking this first round.
Really, really good stuff at the 11th hour, really closer to the 11th second there. 9.7 seconds remaining in the time bank there for Event Horizon. It guarantees that if they do yield all 3 objectives on their defense, that they will have another shot, although it won't be with that much time. For Kent State Crusaders, it's also very winnable here. All they have to do is push that objective, and hopefully with a little additional time in the bank remaining. To all of our audience, thank you so much for tuning in, sticking with us, and for bearing with my voice as well. I feel like giving out, but man, oh man, is this series worth my voice giving out for?
Oh yeah, you remember the first point where Kent State was all scrunched up in this one building near the offensive spawn point? The little cheese defense is what you called it. Well, it did work at least taking away some of the time bank from Event Horizon. Just imagine probably how much more time Event Horizon probably would have had if not for the what you call the cheese defense.
And I really don't think that I want to see Event Horizon opt for that same style of defense, but they might really be looking to do it. At least for now, it looks like they are just going to play a more conventional defense here on the high ground, which it definitely won't stymie the now attacking Kent State Crusaders as much as they got stymied. But against this dive comp, it might be a good response.
Ooh, Shadow opting for the Widowmaker on defense, or I should say on offense. So this is a very, very interesting pick, like I said, especially on offense, but Thembo not having any of that, and Shadow is going to be taken out of the fight. Thembo's like, you are not going to be sniping on my watch. And that's already one down, and Shadow's going to go ahead and say, enough to not sniping for the map. I'm going Sombra.
Unfortunate too, because Widow is a really good pick for this particular area of Dorado. But in the presence of Thembo's Doomfist, it is going to be hard to make that work. Speaking of snipers against Doomfist, Thunder really was able to help secure them out of the fight. That's a little bit of space created until Thunder ends up frozen there by Thornwall, ultimately taken out by Lori. And you haven't really made any substantial trades if you are Kent State Crusaders here. It's really just brawling it out on the objective instead of really diving after priority targets. But who do you dive when the members of Event Horizon are playing so close together and also committing the Shatter in the Application Matrix, getting a Fish out of Mech and eliciting the Rally and Nano from the attacking Kent State Crusaders.
And Thembo there taking out 2 people on that team fight. Thornwall does have the Blizzard on standby, and Thembo was pretty helpless after getting hacked and taken out by Shadow. And so that's 1 out of the fight, but Piggy also taken out of the fight. Event Horizon does have the ult advantage here, although Fish and Shadow could combine their ults together, the EMP self-destruct, and see where that goes.
You do as well have I mean, really what we need to see from Fish is not only a good self-destruct from them, we also need to see them eat Thornwall's Blizzard. That is just, it's a very free win condition, and it's possible that Shadow might be able to prevent its use early with a proactive EMP. And as Thembo goes down, that's actually 4 men hacked, and you have the self-destruct going into the plaza. It doesn't connect to anything, though, which means once Thornwall gets unhacked out of this ice block, they're going to commit the Blizzard. No, they get slept and then commit the Blizzard.
But yeah, on the side for Fish, that was a big swing and a miss right there on that. self-destruct. That could have been a huge for them. Jiggles is probably gonna do something, not gonna be able to get that off, and Thembo not gonna be able to get anything with the meteor strike.
No, they do manage to get Sheiks into a critical position, but Sheiks does have the nano boost to apply in the mid-fight here. You've got about a minute remaining here for the attack. Kensei Crusaders applying the nano boost to Army Piggy, but Army Piggy ends up losing so much health in the presence of the Ant Matrix deployed by Lee Sang-yeon, and Thornwall secures 2, probably icicles through the Ant Matrix. It's Thunder equalizing this fight as Fish ends up out of mech, which means the point presence is going to suffer a little bit, especially since you have Thembo and Bulldog engaged in a 1v1. No longer, since Thembo's taken them out of the fight and found the uppercut kill into Sheiks.
Yeah, even with the trade-offs in this situation, unlike in Control, the trade-offs definitely go in the way of the defenders, because you prevent progress. You could be able to be able to win these types of fights. Yeah, any ties happening would go to defense on this one.
We'll have to see. It really looks like it's Event Horizon's game to win here, and they're already one map lead in the series here as well. The rally, another rally, comes out from Bulldog, and that's going to bolster the defenses of the attackers, but not in the presence of an Earthshatter, a big one from Lori.
And a big one indeed. Even if that was one person taking out a support, that's going to be huge solo ult for Lori. So that's going to eventually create a domino effect as Fish goes down, but Piggy trying to stay alive as long as possible with the Primal Rage. But one by one, they are going to be falling. Blizzard activated from Thornwall. EMP activates, only gets Lee. And this is not looking good for Kent State. Already 3 out of the fight, 4. And it looks like Event Horizon is going to go up 2-0 in this Rookies Grand Finals.
Really good stuff that we got to see from Event Horizon, and really from Kent State Crusaders as well. They really made a great defense on that first objective, playing a strategy that was a little bit cheesy. Ultimately, it's Thornwall and their versatility on the Mei and the Junkrat, who really cracked open the defenses. Am I still kind of confident that that Event Horizon still would have been able to come out of this map with a win? A little bit, but Kent State Crusaders really gave Event Horizon a run for their money. So we'll have to see how the series continues to unfold. For now, it is a 2-0 in the favor of Event Horizon, and they're looking pretty good to take the series. Real quick, guys, as well, for all of those who are watching, be sure to take advantage of a special deal that we've got going on. UGC Overwatch Season 16 is fueled by Vite Ramen. It's the high-protein noodle that does it all. Go to shop.viteramen.com/UGC to save 10% off your order with our promo code UGC at checkout. Again, that's shop.viteramen.com/UGC and promo code UGC to save 10% off your order. I could actually go for a little bit of soup myself. I might have to go make a bowl here as we head out on a short break. Don't go anywhere, because neither are we. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to UGC's Rookie Grand Finals, powered by Vite Ramen as always. So Event Horizon up 2-0 against the Kent State Crusaders, although Kent State, despite being down 0-2, not going down without a fight, showing that so far why they upsetted the number 2 and 3 seeds in the Rookie Grand Finals. Although they're on their toughest test yet, and so far not able to get a single map win. Although they did keep the fight going against them back in Ilios.
Yeah, Ilios is actually the closest match that we've gotten to see so far between both these teams. It almost looked like it was going to be Kent State Crusaders map, and Event Horizon just turns it on a whim. It might have been a warm-up match for Event Horizon. It might have just been everything clicking in the team. And once again, on Dorado, we also saw them pretty stymied there on that first objective by that little room hold that allowed Kent State Crusaders to burn off. I think it was like 3.5 minutes, nearly, off the time bank there for Horizon's attack. Ultimately, we'll have to see how things really unfold here if Horizon manages to continue the momentum as we head into the streets of Hollywood.
All right. And when you mentioned the whole warming up thing, it just reminds me of when the Baltimore Ravens of the NFL were without Lamar Jackson against the Chicago Bears, and they were still able to win that. And then
I don't know what that means.
Against the Browns, they got Lamar Jackson back, even though he did throw those 4 interceptions. Against the Browns, they still win it. So this is kind of like that warm up thing for him, like it was for Event Horizon.
Yeah, they've had to kind of come into their own in a couple of these games. And like I said, maybe it's just the win condition finally clicking for them. But we'll have to see. Event Horizon is going to be attacking here. So they'll be starting off on this dive composition once again, going up against the rush style composition being mounted by the defending Kent State Crusaders. This is the point in the series that this has to turn around, and albeit although I'm not sure how long my voice will hold out, more Overwatch, typically good Overwatch.
Yeah, we gotta pause because it looks like Fish's internet kind of pooped out on them.
In the Overwatch community, we say unluckers.
Yeah, not so lucky. Yeah, I could say probably a disconnection happened. That's why I said. So yeah, Thunder confirming that the computer did crash. So now they're gonna restart, not the computer, but the game crashed on them. So Fish will get that restarted and try to rejoin their team to resume the match. So meanwhile, Event Horizon, they're hoping to pull off another sweep against Kent State, but Kent State, they've allowed 2 maps in both their matches. So it's not over just yet. Like, there's the chance that another upset can happen. Kent State probably knows how to pull upsets like we saw in the bracket. But now we got the unpause, and Fish is most likely gonna pick the Diva once again. So now 10 seconds before the first round starts in Hollywood. Then anybody want to enjoy a good movie? Well, we could say that this match is a good movie.
I see what you did there. Around Hollywood. An important change as well is going to be Mango Chips subbing in for Sheiks here on the main support role, on the flex support role, really. And that might help to give Kent State Crusaders just a little bit of an edge here. But we'll have to see. Knocked off the high ground there. It's not a good place to start, especially with Thunder going down.
That's a big start for the offense of Event Horizon. Thembo taking out one of the both DPSs are out. So that's going to be a lot of DPS being taken out of this equation. And so far, Event Horizon almost already has a tick. And more bodies are dropping on the side of Kent State. And I think this is going to be a quick first round pickup for Event Horizon.
It definitely looks that way. I mean, look at how quickly this dive composition plays. The coordination here between Jiggles and Lori. It's a tough opponent to be faced up against. And Thembo and the Doomfist, there needs to be some level of response that we see just to that one player, that one DPS hero. Because look, they're going in for more. Thembo's looking for more blood to spill, and it's Bulldog that he wants to kill.
And I like the strategy there. Put 5v6 near the second point, and Jiggles is staying behind, just progressing the payload as the body count keeps piling up, caused by the event horizon.
Yeah, it's you don't want to be stonewalled in this position here as well. If you are Kansas State Crusaders, you really want to break out of here and use the abundant space and high ground here on this second objective. But you're being pigeonholed into this choke,
and that's not looking good. And it's continuing right here. 2 taken out, one of them from a barrage. Make that 3, and Thembo continuing to go on a rampage. Shadow is taken out. And they're winning more team fight after team fight after team fight, and they're going to continue to push this payload, and they're continuing this aggressive dive here.
Hey, nothing's stopping them. There's nothing slowing down this aggressive dive composition being utilized to great success here by Event Horizon. Interesting thing, Jiggles hasn't left the payload until just now. They just disconnected and are looking to rejoin the fight, starting with a self-destruct lobbed here into the midline. It ends up destroying the barrier from Army Piggy.
No one's at the payload at this rate, but now it looks like Jiggles is going back there.
Jiggles is back.
Meanwhile, Fish self-destructs Zyla, and Deadeyes from the Shadow taking out Thembo. And I think this might be a reset for Event Horizon, but they're in no rush. They still have 5 minutes to spare. They can re-strategize, and hopefully they can be able to catch them off guard with a new strategy.
I mean, that's a really generous time bank. You said it yourself there, Adam, and with it, you have a lot of leniency, but that's really the first time that Kansas State Crusaders have stabilized. They're looking to do it again off an Ant Matrix and a Shatter here.
And it looks like there might be some adjustments, but Thornwall does take out Fish and eventually take out both tanks, I should say, on this one. Thunder does have Blizzard activated. No one's gonna get taken out by that. But Shadow does have another Deadeye on standby. Nope. That's not gonna happen. Event Horizon making sure of that. It is not high noon. It's low midnight.
Yeah, not quite the place to use it, and you'll also get Thunder mirroring the Pharah there, but it's a little too late. Thornwall has gone onto the Mei, but the Shatter has connected from Army Piggy.
But 4 people do get benefited by the sound barrier, but not gonna matter much. Shadow does use the Deadeye on Thornwall, and Thornwall is taken out of the fight. Lori will use an Earth Shatter, but the rally from Bulldog will provide some extra shield for his team.
Looks like we're still committing, though. Thembo with a Meteor Strike after securing Shadow out of the fight and going in for the landing there. An uppercut and then a Seismic Slam out of the engagement. Jiggles ever present with the DM to make sure that Thembo makes it out. Immortality Field coming out in response to an aggressive pushback from Event Horizon. This might be the fight that they win it.
But here comes the self-destruct out of Fish. Unfortunately, just not going to get anything out of that. Jiggles will have the self-destruct of their own. Piggy will get taken out, but it probably not gonna matter much as Lori and Thembo are eliminated. And I think this is gonna be another reset, and 2 minutes and 50 seconds and counting down still on the clock.
There's a luxury here that Thembo and Thornwall both have. Playing those 250 HP heroes, it means that you can sustain more than 2 rockets, 2 direct hits from Thunder on this Pharah pick. You're not taking the same amount of damage as if you were playing 200 HP heroes. There's a Shatter from Army Piggy. They're frozen, and both MOs are out.
And now Thembo already Bulldog. That's 1 support out of the way. Piggy taken out, but Thunder getting 3! 1 of each roll taken out here. And that's all she wrote on that team fight.
And then Shadow with a dead high onto it's a solo kill onto Kazyla, and Shadow's just like no, just extra insurance to make sure that no one has a chance of staying on this objective, because we've seen how slippery Event Horizon can be. They're going to stay on this rush style composition. We'll see if it works out for them. There's a lot of time that's been bled off the bank here by Kent State Crusaders. They're doing really well, but they really played a lot of their cards there in that last fight.
And this could really impact this team fight. Zyla does have Sound Barrier on standby, but Bulldog on the other side will have Rally. So it's either gonna be shields versus armor on this fight. There goes the Rally. So that's gonna be extra armor. Both sides, and Sound Barrier getting the entire team. And looks like Event Horizon benefiting really well from the Sound Barrier. Only one taken out of the fight, that's Lee. That's gonna reduce healing quite a bit, but it looks like Event Horizon's not gonna be phased very much by that.
I don't need healing if everything on the enemy team is dead and can't do damage. You'll have a reconnection here from Bulldog and Fish, but they're quickly dispatched there. Bulldog taken out by the support player for Event Horizon, and things are looking really strong for them here in this last fight on first round.
And even though they're going to capture this first point, I gotta say, give credit to Kent State's defense. Even though they weren't able to stop Event Horizon from getting all 3 points, they were at least able to do enough to put their time back under a minute and at least give them a chance to win it instead of possibly having to play for a draw.
Yeah, absolutely. And in a really good defense it was. Unfortunately, here's the thing about these dive disruption comps, dive or disruption, that have become really powerful in the latest metagame, partially because we haven't had a balance patch in like 4 months. Anyways, enough about that. Part of the strength of those compositions is that you can come into a team fight with a plan and not be able to execute it just because you're totally thrown off by the uninhibited aggression from your attackers. In this case, it's Thembo. You might have noticed it. Keen-eyed viewers will have seen that we had 3, almost 4 little blue check marks lighting up on the side of the defending Kent State Crusaders, but they were never able to use those ultimates. They wanted to use them proactively, but they never, they either didn't put themselves in the position to use them early or weren't allowed the position to use them as early as they would have liked, considering Thembo's aggression into their backlines, diverting their attention and disrupting the plan as a whole. Now it's going to be, I anticipate, an arduous endeavor just to dislodge the defending Event Horizon from this high ground position, opting for this double shield strategy and possibly winning out in the mirror. But all eyes are on Kent State Crusaders for now.
Both sides going with the Hanzo game. So we'll see how many arrows ahead we're gonna see in this fight. And Thornwall first to be taken out by Bulldog. Thunder taking out Thembo, who has been the star DPS in the last round. So that's a team size advantage right now for Kent State, and they're going to try to take advantage, but Thornwall responding by taking 2 of Kent State's people out. Make that 3, and they're saying team size disadvantage. What team size disadvantage? This is our team fight. I don't care if we're down 2 people.
I mean, at that point, you're absolutely right. If you are Kent State Crusaders there, you're encouraged by the man disadvantage that, or rather the man advantage that you are faced with, right? But it ends up being a positional discrepancy. The only reason that Kent State were able to find those 2 initial picks is because both of the DPS heroes for Event Horizon found themselves beyond the choke and caught out of position, being a little bit greedy, looking for early ultimate charge. And as the Dragons come out, it's going to dislodge the position here for the attacking Kent State Crusaders. In fact, it'll do more than that. It eliminates Shadow, and now Kent State has to play into this low ground valley position against the upper high ground that's being maintained by Lori and Jiggles.
And looks like already 4 people taken out of fight. This was another quick team fight win for going the way of Event Horizon. They are continuing to just dominate here as we are approaching 2 minutes 15 seconds in this second round in the first point.
I mean, Adam, that's not enough time. That's not enough time here for Kent State Crusaders.
And this is especially if you're going against a team like Event Horizon, who just thrives off the crunch time. And look at the ults that they have. Jiggles
Yeah.
has a Graphitic Flux, Lori has a Supercharger, and Lee, well, has that Amp Matrix to definitely help with either dealing more damage or just cause some area denial. Meanwhile, 4 people are taken for a ride by Graphitic Flux, but Bulldog is gonna keep the team healthy with the Transcendence. One of the most handiest ults in the game, in my opinion. And look at this, 3 already taken out of 5 from Horizon, and Kent State looks like they're probably going to be taking this first point, and looks like, never mind, Thembo's coming in, not saying but all for naught, and looks like Kent saying, yes, we are taking that point. We're not going down easily. We're showing you why we pulled the upsets on the 2 and 3 seeds.
As a Zen main, I really like seeing Bulldog come out on top of those 1v1s against Thembo and Thornwall with those elims. Beautiful stuff. Ultimately, they will swap onto the Ana as instead to help enable the dive composition being opted for now by Kent State Crusaders. On their attack, they want to play against the double shield, but they've elicited the mirror matchup here from Event Horizon.
And the Dragon Strike does come out, and Mango pretty much pays the price for that one. And it looks like Event Horizon getting back to that good defense they had from earlier for most of the first point, and it looks like Kent State's probably gonna need to have a reset on this, although they will have both DPS ults as well as Primal Rage on standby.
There's a Sleep Dart, doesn't connect, and you are going to see a stagger onto Fish here. A little unfortunate. Usually, though, in the face of that stagger, you can regroup, and that's what Kent State is looking to accomplish, is just go for the hard reset. They've got 5 ults in the bank, though, nearly 5 ults, and really what I think I would have rather see from them is an aggressive push and the commitment of those ultimates so that when Fish reconnects, they're able to make something happen. Now this fight just starts off with Bulldog going down early.
And that's definitely going to hurt the healing of Kent State. As you can see, eventually Thembo took out Shadow with a Meteor Strike. Mango using up that Valkyrie and going to bring Shadow back in the fight. And Shadow going to try to get a Deadeye going on, but I don't think they're going to get anything. Dragon Strike is going to just keep Kent State away from there. Kent State trying to get some progress on the payload. Zyla is going to activate the Valk. Self-destruct comes in, nothing there. So far, no one has...
What? It was blocked by Army. Piggy leapt into the air and actually timed the bubble correctly, but it's Fish's bomb that's going to find the value. Look at that, 3 picks for the Diva player for Kent State.
That's a well-timed ult from Fish. Make sure there were no bubbles there, although from earlier, Piggy was able to well-time that bubble to prevent any damage coming from Jiggles' ult. But like I said, this is a great job out of Fish, and they still have a shot. They're never out of this fight, even if people think they're going to be out of this fight. Thornwall, however, takes down Piggy. Lori, pretty much helpless. Shadow takes him out with the Deadeye. That was a sleeping angry gorilla. And what's a sleeping angry gorilla? Just sleeping, that's it. Thembo will be taking out a fight on this one, and Thunder gonna have to use that barrage another time. But Mango does have a Valkyrie on standby in case should the need arise.
To get Lori out of the fight, this is the time that I think I would see that Valkyrie being deployed, but we're still holding on to it, finally coming into use, but only off the back of 2 eliminations favoring Kent State. It was already looking like their fight, so I'm wondering if we're going to see more ults committed into this fight.
And more ults indeed. 3 more ults on standby, both DPS, both tanks ults on standby. Meanwhile, Shadow gets another Deadeye kill, taking Lori out of the fight. Bulldog already used up the Nano Boost, and meanwhile only two tank ults left from the other side. Piggy will get the Brez, and we're gonna see a Primal Rage coming out.
I certainly hope not, but we might have to. Thembo just killed 2.
Wow. Meanwhile, anything is pretty much happening, but both DPS is out on the side of Kent State. Bulldog able to hold their own, taking out 2. But there's the Nano Boost. and it's gonna be Lori that's gonna be getting the nano boosted. We're gonna see seeing this nano gorilla. Jiggles gonna be activating it. Gets two, both ults taken out of the fight, courtesy of Jiggles' self-destruct and Thembo. And we got a
Oh
pause
no.
here, and unfortunately, Jiggles might be having some technical problems as well. This is the second time in this map alone in Hollywood that we had a pause where we had a disconnect.
Well, and
Looks-
in both instances, it was the Diva player as well.
That is
First it was Vish, and now
ironic.
it's Jiggles.
That's ironic too. Both divas having this happen to them, and then looks like this movie's gotten really epic.
Well, Jiggles is back. We'll probably be unpausing here in just a moment, jumping right back into the action. But I don't think that action is going to last long. Jiggles was disconnected, quite literally, not only from the game but from this fight as well. I'm pretty certain that they were in the fight as it was happening. The thing is, though, and you guys, once we come back from the intermission screen, you guys will be able to see this. The thing is that. Point presence and manpower, it all favors still the Event Horizon squad. I think that they win this fight.
I think so, but Thembo will activate the. Well, didn't need to. I told you were right. The action didn't last long after the pause. Event Horizon will be bringing up that Hollywood ending to this movie, and they're gonna go up 3-0. Meanwhile, Fish, another play of the game, and look at this for the Crusaders, getting that triple kill, doing what he can for Kent State. Though it's not an easy 3-0 right now. Although Event Horizon showing that they are in control of this match, and for Kent State, Temple of Anubis, they're gonna have to win one of the most difficult assault maps to stay alive.
I mean, I said it at the beginning of Hollywood, is that that was the point where Kent State needed to turn it around. We're going to be going to Hanamura for our next and potentially final map here. It could possibly turn out to be a short grand finals. And for as much as my voice might appreciate that, it's definitely not what Kent State Crusaders really want to have happen. And you'll be able to observe it as well if you take a look at the bracket, right, where it's upsets and close matches here for Kent State Crusaders, compared to Event Horizon, who pretty much steamrolled through their playoffs bracket. It's these pop-off moments that we're seeing from the Crusaders, like that Diva Bomb from Fish, right? And that's really these big moments, the double kills on the support line from Bulldog, Fish, and the self-destruct, Army Piggy with the clutch block of Jiggles self-destruct. It's these individual highlights that keep Kent State Crusaders, that help them keep these matches as close as they are, right? I think, Adam, you'll agree that the 3-0 so far, it's not quite representative of how close some of these fights have really gotten. And it allows them to draw these fights out for a really long time. Ultimately, they aren't able to stay in it. But for Kent State Crusaders, what I need to see a little more consistency from them. I need to see these pop-off moments happen a little more frequently, or at least, if not more frequently, in a more coordinated fashion against Event Horizon.
And I definitely have to agree with you on that one. Like, they can't really just rely too much on the big individual moments to stay alive. And Event Horizon is making sure that they're saying, you can't just rely on your ults forever, on individual multi-kill ults to try and stay alive. You gotta have more than that as well. Like,
yeah. No, it has to be more than just the clutch potential, right? That's only a portion of what we expect from great players. And I mean, I understand that this is the rookie division, right? This is NA rookie. These are, for all intents and purposes, these are average players. But that's the cool thing about about these tournaments is that playing competitively, and I don't mean solo queue ranked, but real competitive Overwatch, like what we're seeing here. These are opportunities for all of these team members to elevate each other, right? And so to that extent, like of course, when Bulldog gets two, you're going to be able to engage that clutch potential that Fish and Army Piggy are capable of. But again, it's also the consistency from Event Horizon that I think is allowing them to maintain an edge in this series.
It looks like we had another disconnect. Cartier saying about a restart. Looks like one of their teammates probably had a disconnect. As you can see, the empty there between Lori and Thornwall. But let's go back to. Gotcha. So, anyways, let's go back to Dorado. Let's go back to Dorado, like Thornwall. Getting that triple kill patience with after seeing the immortality field leave the field, and was able to break these defenses apart for Event Horizon to get the offensive momentum going. And now Thembo is back. Let's talk Thembo. The Doomfist aggression.
Yeah, insanely aggressive and definitely highly enabled as well. We're seeing some really big plays from Zyla and Lee Sang-yeon as well. But Thembo being able to utilize just the sheer assassination potential that Doomfist has. I mean, that hero isn't real, bro. Doomfist and the whole DPS roster's a little on the overtuned side of things. Easy value is kind of the name of the game, but what isn't as easy is equalizing some of these man disadvantages, dying first and then still being able to come back out of spawn and help finish off a fight. Again, it's the consistency from Thembo and Thornwall, the ability that they have to play several different DPS heroes and make each of them work in attain similar amounts of value. That's what's impressive to me, or most impressive to me, about this DPS lineup. For now, it means that they're going to be opting for that Symmetra and that Mei, so that you can teleport to or on top of the objective, and fortify some point presence as well. You get the freeze effect from Thornwall. But oh, Adam, what is this on the defense?
Normally, they pick Bastion to just mess with us casters, but I think they're being serious this time. We're going to see the Bastion on defense. I always love seeing this. We normally don't see Bastion very much in higher league action like Contenders or League. This could be pretty much a treat for the defense, and when used correctly, Bastion can just tear you apart. But we're gonna see. Oh, it looks like they're gonna go high ground. Oh my goodness! Event Horizon going for the flank. They went the high ground and then went into the point. And it looks like Shadow does get Thornwall, but Zyla able to boop Thunder to inevitable doom. But Thunder gets resurrected by Bulldog, so it's not an environmental kill, as you can see in the kill feed. But Thunder very close, but Photon Barrier already out.
Ooh.
And Lee already taking out the Amp Matrix. Thunder will take out Zyla and take away some of that healing for Event Horizon, but no, doesn't matter. That Immortality Field will save most of the team. And Event Horizon, they're saying, we're down one less healer. No problem. Lee's gonna put up down an Immortality Field, help us stay alive, and we're gonna be taking this first point.
It's a first point after an arduous team fight, and we're going to see another quick team fight break out here on the second objective. But oh no, the pathing from the defense from Kent State might have actually disrupted their own play. The Wall and the Ant Matrix both committed. Thunder in an ice block has to work closer towards that Blizzard, and Shadow is already taken out of the fight.
And now Photon Barrier already out for Thembo, who has been a big asset on the DPS today. Zyla already sending out the Sound Barrier. Already 1.5 ticks already for Event Horizon in this first round. And then we haven't even crossed the 5-minute threshold yet.
Not yet, but it's looking very much like Event Horizon's game here, fortifying the point with their presence and committing all of the ults that they've got in the bank. There's the shatter as well. It looks almost like it was a solo shatter into Bulldog. Little unfortunate, and now the rest of the team can turn onto Thunder. Thembo finding not one, two final blows before ultimately Xiuna goes down to the counterpin from Army Piggy. Thembo does trade, however, and demeched. It's now to Feast to stall. Now going to Bulldog, the responsibility to stay alive on this objective. We're down that time bank. It's all overtime picks and stalling here, but it's going to be hard to accomplish, and it won't be able to be accomplished. 435 in the bank here for Event Horizon, and I mean, Adam, it's looking like their series as a whole.
Look at all that time bank. They really want this series so badly. They really don't want to see Kent State try to pick up any momentum. We remember, I think it was Vanguard, I want to say, against Talentless Esports back in the first round. I think of the division, of the beginners division that Guthix and I called. Like, you don't want to give your opponents any chance at turning momentum around. And we saw, Guthix and I called that game a few weeks ago, and when Vanguard got that draw, which I forget what Escort map it was, they got their first map win here, and it was pretty much Vanguard from there on. Oh, I remember, Eichenwald. That was the map I was thinking of. That's what you know about never letting your opponents gain any sense of momentum.
Yeah, and that in particular becomes pretty important on these 2 CP modes as well, where, you know, if you're using the Symmetra to teleport from objective to objective or from high ground to low ground, then at any point in time, the tide can really shift or turn or increase the pace of the game as it's played by either team. For now, it's going to be the deficit is really in favor of Event Horizon, now opting for their defense and putting Thornwall back on this Pharah, while Thembo goes to Cole Cassidy.
And we're just gonna see Thembo has been the big star in the first round. You should have seen the mini damage that they did as the Symmetra. How many photon pairs got released during that first round? So meanwhile, Thembo, speaking of which, taking out Piggy, and out of the fight they go.
I like the proactivity as well from Xiuna, making sure that there's healing and damage amplification resources committed to all the members of the defending Event Horizon. Immortality Field ends up coming out, and Lee Sang-Yan won't be able to use it to live themselves. Bulldog finds the melee finish onto them, and it was a weird fight, really poorly paced, and with picks on both sides that should have favored the defense. Ultimately, Event Horizon is going to yield that first point to Kent State Crusaders. This gives them a better time bank. If they can win the second objective, then they reduce the time bank that Event Horizon has to work with for their second attack phase.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird fight there. You had, like I said, the trade-offs, but deciding to retreat to the second point, okay. And I'm thinking that Event Horizon wants to be closer to spawn than they would have been at the first point, and we're gonna see if kind of a riskiness there. See if that paid off. But Thornwall does get an environmental kill on Sheeks before getting the kill on the other support of Bulldog.
If my voice hadn't given out, I would have made some joke about saying sheesh there, but said Sheeks instead of sheesh. There's the Blizzard committed onto the second objective there from Thunder. It's ultimately not going to secure the picks or the space that Kent State really wanted. Sound barrier drops and the photon barrier is deployed on the point as well, though, so it's going to buy them a little bit more presence on the objective, but the respawns all favor Event Horizon.
Wow. 4 taken out. Thembo, going back to the Doomfist, which has served them well, especially in Hollywood. Jiggles will bring out the self-destruct. It's going to push back Fish a little bit, though not going to do much. Shadow, however, taking out Thembo and Xiuna. And
you've got to get Shadow out of this fight. Shadow's taken out so many, and that beam has not stopped turning, and there's Fish with another triple kill.
Wow. Fish really does know how to time those self-destructs well. Not the first triple kill we've seen. Yeah, we're looking at Hollywood on that one. Shadow's going to be close to getting another photon barrier on. And there it is. Buy some more time. Here comes the Wrecking Ball out of Jiggles. They're trying to stall. They are going to attack second guaranteed. They've done their part in getting the time bank down from Kent State. The guarantee that Kent State attacks first. And looks like they're continuing their part in dwindling down that time clock little at a time.
Shadow is just microwaving anyone who stands in their path. It's all them in the kill feed here, and with a pin from Army Piggy onto Lori, it means that the defense might really suffer here. Amplification Matrix, the Pulse Bomb connects. It connects onto Thunder. That's an absolutely massive pick. No revive to bring them back, but you still have to deal with the main threat, and that is Shadow.
And Shadow has been big in keeping this team alive in the second point, trying to do a lot of damage, doing a lot they can. Photon Barrier, another one out. Meanwhile, Lee, Scylla, and Lori already taken out of the fight, but as you can see how close they are to the spawn point, but that doesn't matter. They're gonna take this and have 2 minutes on the time clock for the next round. So they will have to attack first, but that's a great job out of Event Horizon to at least help chew clock out.
I'm not certain what Event Horizon's plan was there. Kent State Crusaders really making the Symmetra work. Shadow on the sim is just, like I said, microwaving anyone who stands in their path. That beam was so high energy for so long. You might as well have had them playing Goats Comp and had them as a pseudo Zarya with the insane amount of damage output they were capable of there on that pick. They're going to stick with it. If it works, why change, right? For me, it almost looked like Event Horizon was panicking a little bit. They weren't sure how to accomplish eradicating the attackers off of that objective, right? So ultimately, you let Shadow ramp up in the damage. You let Thunder continue to contest. You let Fish get a triple with the self-destruct, and you put yourself into the first map where it's actually losable territory. To equalize that, you go with the boom or bust strategy, and that's exactly what we're going to see from Thembo and Thornwall, going without a hit scan just so that they can go insane damage.
And I kind of like the Bastion choice out of Thembo. Try to get a lot of damage.
You like the Bastion anywhere, Adam.
So now we're gonna see if this will work out. Didn't really work out for Kent State in the first round, but we're gonna see if this will work out for Event Horizon. Trying to tell them, hey, you tried to do the Bastion approach. We're gonna try our own and show you how it works. As Lee able to take down Army and Sheiks, and it looks like this is already gonna be off to a good start for Event Horizon. They're going to win this first team fight, and there's going to be almost to a minute 15 left on the clock.
A little unfortunate there for Kent State Crusaders. They really needed to take at least 33% of objective progress in that fight, so they had something to work with for latter engagements. They're not going to make any swaps to their composition, but hopefully their pathing changes. The place that they opt for the teleporters, actually, one swap coming out, Thunder goes to the Reaper, just for, again, maximize damage output.
And definitely maximize damage output, especially when you got the Shadow Step that can help you get behind teammates, especially when you're going up close to do the damage. Meanwhile, Thembo able to take down Piggy, and the Earth Shatter getting 4 on that one. And here comes tank configuration out of Thembo, and wow, Thembo continuing to be a DPS beast as we get into the final 20 seconds of this third round.
Got to be wary because you've got a couple more ultimates online for the defense here, namely the Photon Barrier and the Amplification Matrix. Superb defensive and offensive utility compared to the Amp Matrix from Sheiks, and that's about it. You might be able to get Bulldog to build that sound barrier in the mid-fight, but not deployed in time to save anyone, and someone has to touch her. It's not going to be Fish. Demect.
And able to get on there. It was Shadow, but has to translocate out of there. Thunder is taking out a fight, and this looks like Event Horizon is going to get a hold on here, and it's going to be draw at best for Kent State.
That's the key word, though, at best here for Kent State. They can draw. They can keep the series going. They can keep their Grand Finals championship for NA Rookie Division of UGC League Overwatch Season 16 alive. The series isn't over. It possibly far from it. You know, I said earlier on Hollywood that was the map for things to be turned around by Kent State, perhaps just by slowing down the momentum, if only enough to get to force a draw out from Event Horizon. This has to be where it happens, because otherwise you do indeed lose. And as Event Horizon mounts their defense, you are playing into a whole host of adversaries, and a lot of them spell Thembo.
Thembo going back to the Symmetra. They can play any TPS that could work really well. You've seen a Symmetra, you've seen a Doomfist. I think, did we see a Cassidy out of Thembo? Probably not, but we've definitely seen the Bastion earlier, which worked well for Thembo. And you remember with the whole draw scenario, like this is like I said, exactly what happened with Talentless against Vanguard. Vanguard got the draw, and that was pretty much the start of the comeback. But now, as we get ready for the 3.5 minutes that Event Horizon has, they got some time. They just need one tick. That's it. One tick, and they win the map, the series, and the Rookie Division tournament. And it started off with Piggy getting taken out, but Shadow answering with Lori being taken out of the fight. So still plenty of time, but Thornwall able to take out Shadow. That's a lot of DPS gone. But Thunder answering with taking out Thembo, who has been the star DPS of this series so far.
You still got a teleporter up for the attackers, though, so they can reconnect just as quickly as the defenders. Actually, they can reconnect quicker than the defenders, and they assume point presence here. Lori and Jiggles looking to duke it out, and both walls deployed from both sides. Thunder has to build this Blizzard in time. Army Piggy is gone. You need point presence through some means.
And they're gonna try, but Shadow's doing everything they can. No, Lori! Riptire strike takes the Riptire out. Here comes a self-destruct. Won't do anything, but 3's ult still there. Thornwall using the Blizzard to try to get something. Takes out Thunder. It's still anybody's fight here, but it looks like it's a little more of an advantage for Event. That Bulldog is taken out. 4 will benefit from the sound barrier, but Piggy will get the environmental kill on Zyla. And
oh, a massive shatter. And a bigger counter shatter. The pin from Lori helping to secure Sheik's out of the fight. Army Piggy duking it out with Lori, but ultimately going down in the process. There's only Shadow remaining, and they're playing in the presence of an amplification matrix as Bulldog looks to reconnect as well. Staying in this fight, you've got Thunderdog on the Symmetra just so that we can get a teleport up and some immense damage out as well. Lori ends up succumbing to that in the process. The defenders are staying on this point. They're staying strong. Lee Sang-yeon out of the fight, off the objective, and this means a stabilization for the defense. Kent State is still in it.
They like I said, we are looking at a team with pretty much zero room for error, and their defense has been very stabilized here. But Jiggles does have a self-destruct on standby. If you don't get a kill, you could at least scatter the Kent State and try to get the picks off one at a time. That's the only ult that Event Horizon is going to be able to work with. Thunder will eventually have Photon Barrier on standby, but Piggy taken out of the fight with Lee with assistance from the Cole Cassidy stun there. Jiggles still does have that ult on standby. Thunder using that Photon Barrier right there. There goes the self-destruct, and thanks to the Photon Barrier, not going to be able to get one. And Bulldog able to environmentally kill Zyla, but look at that, 3 members of
Bulldog.
Bulldog, another one, but the 3 already taken out of the fight from Kent, and it looks like Jiggles will take out Piggy. Bulldog trying to do what they can to keep the team alive, but Jiggles saying, you have the shield, well, say hi to the environment for me as it kills you instead. But Lee still has the amp matrix and is going to send that out. Thembo going to try to be sure to get something with Deadeyes, and that is going to be it. that is the map, that is the series, and that is the rookie tournament going the way of Event Horizon.
Ladies and gentlemen, your grand champions of Overwatch League, I'm sorry, of Overwatch Season 16 of UGC League are indeed Event Horizon. That's for the rookie, that's for the NA rookie division. And what a showdown it was. Again, I reiterate, the 4-0 is not really, it does not represent how tight these matches were. Kent State Crusaders really almost, I mean, they really made Event Horizon work for every single victory they attained. Let's not kid ourselves. We do have to look at all of Event Horizon, and all of them played really well. For us in the booth here, Adam, I think you and I will agree. Ultimately, our MVP, I think it has to go to Thembo.
Thembo indeed, because look at the diversity that Thembo was able to play with the DPS. Look at the variety with the, I think the Reaper, with the Cassidy, with the Doomfist, with the Symmetra, and even with the Bastion in round 3 of Hanamura, able to work that out like a charm.
Yeah, and to great success for them and their team. And again, they got lots of support from the other members of Event Horizon, but it was really those solo pop-off moments, the ones that we saw a little bit of from the Crusaders, that were really just epitomized by Thembo and the DPS role. Congratulations to Event Horizon for their grand champion status of the NA Rookie Division, as well as Thembo for their MVP nomination. Unfortunately, Adam, that's all we've got in the booth for tonight.
It really is. This has been a fun match. So basically, the 4-0, like you said, was not easy. Kent State, they did show a little bit why they were able to pull the upset against Eclipse and new Overwatch team. They didn't make things easy at all for Event Horizon, but eventually Event Horizon had to earn those 4-0s, but they got the 4-0.
Yeah, they did, and really well played. Be sure that all those who enjoyed the content hit UGC up with a follow. Visit our website, get connected on Twitter and Discord as well. Fantastic place to get connected to other teams. Good place to engage with other people who still enjoy playing Overwatch. The game is dying, but it's still in live support. We're keeping it there. So be sure to join the communities and follow the Twitch so you guys can get notified of when we go live. There is going to be one more game that is broadcasted, and we'll keep it a secret, partially because we don't know, partially because we want to keep it a surprise. For those of you who have also enjoyed the weekend voice of Lord Thethan, head over to the twitter.com and give me a follow. That way you guys can get notified of when I go live with any of my casting gigs. I don't normally sound like this. Please follow me on Twitter, guys. And that's going to be it from me. Adam, any last words from you, my friend?
Well, not really. It's gonna be a great next Friday. I think it's intermediate grand finals next Friday, but who knows who's gonna be representing in that. So that's what we can look forward to.
We'll just have to follow Twitch channels so that we can find out later.
Yeah. But as for right now, along with my good friend Lord the Ethan, I am at the Adamsmasher on Twitter, and we gotta say good night and enjoy that Vite ramen.